We live in a world that is just obsessed with the hustle, right? We're always told to push harder, go faster, and never ever stop. But what if the real secret to strength isn't in all that striving, but in letting go? Today, we're going to explore a pretty radical idea, the divine call to just relax.
And it all really boils down to these 8 powerful words. Now, this isn't just some nice, gentle suggestion. It's a command, a call to stop the frantic spinning of our own wheels and to just take a breath and remember who's really in control here.
But that's the tough part, isn't it? That's the real tension. We hear this call to be still, but the world is screaming at us that if we even pause for a second, we're going to be left behind. Our jobs, our goals, our families, they all demand that we keep moving. And that's the central struggle we're really going to unpack.
So let's talk about what this invitation to rest actually means. It's so important to get this right. This is not about being lazy or just giving up. No way. It's an invitation to a totally different kind of action, a kind of strength that's rooted in surrender instead of our own endless effort.
Think about how countercultural this is. The message isn't to add more to your to-do list or panic about what's coming next. It's about finally putting down the heavy burdens you were never meant to carry in the first place. That crushing weight of constant worry and anxiety.
So when we talk about divine rest, what is that? Well, it's not about not caring. It's a really powerful state of peace that comes from a deep, foundational trust. It's that quiet confidence you feel when you know you don't have to have all the answers because you trust the one who's writing your story.
And that brings us right to the heart of it all, the incredible power of trust. The real change, the real transformation, it happens when we shift from anxious striving to active trust. It's kind of like changing your life's entire operating system from one based on fear to one based on faith.
Just look at these 2 paths. They lay out 2 completely different ways to live. On one side, you've got striving. It's fueled by fear, anxiety, a constant, exhausting need to be in control of everything, and it always leads to burnout. But on the other side, you've got trusting, and that's defined by faith, by surrender, and it leads not to exhaustion, but to this deep, soul-level rest where you can actually receive the promises meant for you.
And this, right here, is the core promise. Just let that sink in. It means that the blessings meant for you, well, they already have your address. You don't have to kick down doors or chase after them or lose your peace trying to get them. What is divinely meant for you will not pass you by.
The whole battle shifts the second we realize it was never our fight to begin with. Faith isn't about believing that we can handle everything. It's about remembering we were never supposed to. We're invited to stop trying to be our own source of strength, our own provider, our own defender, and instead lean on the one who actually is.
Now, this journey of trust, it inevitably leads to one of the hardest parts, right? The waiting. Those seasons of silence where it feels like absolutely nothing is happening. But here's the thing, that isn't a time of abandonment. It's actually a time of deep, active purpose.
This is so important, especially for anyone out there who feels forgotten right now. A delay in your timeline is not a final no in the grand plan. Just because you can't hear anything or see any movement, it doesn't mean work isn't being done. God's silence is not the same thing as his absence.
So what's actually going on in that pause? Well, 3 key things are happening. First, there's preparation. You're being strengthened and made ready to actually handle the blessing when it arrives. Second, there's protection. You're being shielded from dangers and pitfalls you can't even see. And third, there's revelation. The delay makes sure that when that door finally swings open, you'll have no doubt about who opened it.
So even when it's quiet, even when it feels like you're stuck, the message is to trust that a divine plan is unfolding. A beautiful story is being woven together, and the groundwork is being laid for a breakthrough that's bigger and better than you could have imagined.
And all this trust, this patience in the waiting, it all leads to the ultimate reward, peace. So now, we're going to talk about the practical side of letting go and the incredible peace that rushes in to fill that empty space.
This is such a powerful image. Just think about it. If your hands are clenched in a fist, desperately holding on to your own plans, your own worries, how can you receive anything new? That act of surrender, of just opening your hands, is what makes receiving even possible.
So let's just take a moment to be honest. What are you clinging to so tightly? Is it fear about the future, that need to control every outcome? Maybe it's a past relationship you just can't let go of,
Or maybe it's your own carefully laid out plans and timelines. What's filling up your hands right now?
The moment you finally say, okay, I release it, that's not a moment of defeat. That is the moment of your greatest victory. It's when you let go of the struggle, and this profound peace, it doesn't just trickle in. It floods your soul like a mighty river.
And so we come full circle. We're right back to that simple but incredibly deep command: relax. Trust the process. Trust the author of your story. Because the promise is that everything that is truly meant for you, it will find its way to you.
So, as we wrap this up, the invitation is for you. To really step into this rest, something has to be released. So take a deep breath and just ask yourself, what is the one thing, the one worry, the one plan that you will let go of today to make room for peace?